And I'm, as always, delighted to have Rob Teel here with me. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For sponsoring both Conference Live and Realcomm. Real quick, what is it that Yardi obtains from being such an active part?
Well, it's really the connections we make here, whether it's our clients or other vendors, and learning from each other and collaborating. Being at this conference, it's really the only conference I go to every year.
Yeah.
And the quality of attendee, the quality of the conference is really second to none.
Yeah, I know that you're excited to tell us about what Yardi is doing. Not just did the keynote, did our opening and talked a little bit about B2P. Yeah. You guys have some software offerings that, as always, are right at the cutting edge. We know about Voyager, we know about Matrix. What are you bringing this year? What's new?
Yeah, so on its keynote address was really interesting, and one of the key themes he hit on was operational performance. And what we're really trying to do, and we're introducing and updating 3 brands this week, 3 product lines called Elevate, Kube, and Pulse. And they're all geared towards that operational performance element, which is how can I increase my revenues? How can I decrease my expenses, reduce risk? And if I can do those 3 things, hopefully I'm going to increase the value of my property. I mean, in the last 10 years, returns were easy to come by. You bought something in 2008 or 2009 and you kind of made your return 5 years later. You didn't have to do anything. Now returns are getting squeezed to the point where you need to be actively operating that property. You need to be actively taking a position and working the revenue, working the expenses if you're going to get the returns, the 10, 15% returns that everybody's become used to the last 10 years. So just real quickly, the three product lines, Yardi Elevate is focused on increasing revenue through our deal management system, Deal Manager. Helps you make better deals, make better decisions on each commercial lease. So am I above market? Am I below market? Does the net effective rent on this deal work? Yardi Forecast Manager helps take that information from Deal Manager and forecast it out either 1, 3, 10 years, so you get a better projection and more real-time forecasting. And then the last piece of it is called Facility Manager, which helps you operate the facilities in a stronger way. Maybe a fourth would be Construction Manager, which reduces the risk of any construction project. Is it going to go over budget? Is it going to go over the timeline of an initial construction project? So all 4 of those things kind of make the Elevate suite really powerful in terms of whether it's increasing revenue, decreasing expenses, managing risk.
Right.
You kind of layer on our next product line, which is called Yardi Kube. And that focuses specifically on co-working. So co-working is a really interesting way to increase the revenue on an underutilized space. Take floor 3 through 4 and turn it into memberships, like selling a Netflix membership for $19.99 a month, except it's more like $300 a month, and you can double, triple your revenue per square foot, through a co-working offering, through a membership platform. And obviously, we've seen what WeWork has done there, and so many other Convene and others. And what we offer is something for the building owner to kind of hedge a little bit. Maybe they want to operate their own space and use our software to increase revenues. The last is called Yardi Pulse, and it's 100% focused on reducing energy expense. And you do that through reducing energy consumption. How can I make sure the utilities are charging me the right amount? I mean, that's a real thing. Auditing utility bills, filing for sustainability reporting at the end of the year, actually using IoT devices to optimize the HVAC, right? Yeah. And a kind of a coin that, a term that Anant was mentioning this morning was B2P. So we've heard of B2B, we've heard of B2C, business to customer, business to business. B2P would be business to property, and having those IoT devices in the building. In our case, the first really place we've focused on is thermostats and HVAC. Really, I think is going to be the wave of the next 10 years.
Are you getting any success stories back?
We are, and it's really the combination of a lot of those products. So it's not one product individually, it's the teams within a company working together. So the brokers from an external brokerage working hand in hand with an asset manager on a deal. The analyst for the budgeting cycle picking up those deals and communicating through an activity thread on, do you really think this deal is going to close? Should I really include it in the forecast? And then the construction teams, working with the on-site project managers to chat like a Slack channel on how a job's going. How's the fit out working? How's the tenant improvement succeeding? And so it's really the combination of all 3 of these things that we're seeing the success stories. It's not one individual product or one individual user group. It's an ecosystem of users kind of collaborating on, how to improve operational performance, really.
I mean, what seems unfair to me is that you guys have such a deep well of knowledge. I mean, I'm thinking about Matrix and all of the analytics that must be that you're employing from that, but using in these things. Is that what makes the Yardi product, the whole suite of products, so effective? Is this just enormous back end? What is the difference?
It is, although I say we've been working on it for 7 or 8 years now, collecting our data source, which we call Yardi Matrix. Every building over 50,000 square feet in the U.S., all 100 major markets. Same on the multifamily side. We know a lot about every commercial building of size out there. But it's only recently that we've started to blend that in with the operational tools, right? So when I'm considering the value of a commercial lease, or I'm considering my marketing budget on a multifamily property, how much should I spend on Google AdWords next month? And we can actually feed that data back from what we've gathered in Matrix and help someone make a better decision on spend, on closing a deal, on approving a construction change order. And although we've been collecting this data for years and years, I think we've really just started to see the value of how do you combine it in with a business process so that someone can make a better decision off of it instead of just using it as a research tool to go, troll through the treasure of data that we've collected. That's kind of an active research component versus passive, where we're telling you you're making a bad decision here, or you could make a better decision here. And so combining Matrix with the Elevate suite has been really exciting.
Without giving too much away, I know this is an exciting thing that you're rolling out here. Project forward 2 years ahead. What might be coming up? What do you guys have your eye on the horizon? This has been 7 years in the making. What do you have your eye on the horizon for now?
I think the B2B play is going to be really interesting for Yardi. We've got a toehold, we've got a foothold in the building now with the thermostats, with the HVAC. For multifamily, we've started introducing access controls, so door locks, lighting, thermostats as well in multifamily. And although IoT has been a buzzword for many years, it takes some time for the industry to mature, and we're starting to see the fruit of that labor. So I think that building to property connection, Onnit called it the continuous connection between operations and the building itself. That maybe is going to be a big focus for all of us in the next 5 years.
Very cool. Rob, thank you so much for connecting all of us here to what you guys do and being such a big part of both Conference Live and Realcomm 2019. Thank you
for
so
having
much.
me. Appreciate it.